I'm your rich uncle. I want to see my family win. Follow my advice, and you'll be the rich uncle in your family.
What if financial stress wasn't permanent, but something you could actually escape in just 12 months? Most people don't realize it's not just about earning more money, it's about breaking the cycle that keeps them stuck. Living paycheck to paycheck, constant bills, rising debt, it all creates pressure that feels never-ending. But with the right plan, that pressure can start to disappear faster than you think. In the next 12 months, everything can change if you focus on three things: controlling spending, building a safety cushion, and creating even a small extra income stream. It's not magic, it's structure, discipline, and consistency. So the real question is, are you ready to stop surviving and finally start building financial freedom? Today we will talk about how to escape financial stress in 12 months. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. Understanding financial stress at its core. Financial stress is not just a lack of money, it is the result of uncertainty, poor structure, and emotional decision-making around finances. Many people assume that earning more automatically solves stress, but in reality, lifestyle inflation and lack of planning often increase pressure instead. When income rises but spending rises equally, the stress remains unchanged. At its core, financial stress comes from three main problems: lack of clarity about money flow, absence of savings buffer, and dependence on a single income source without backup. In the first step of your 12-month transformation, you must stop treating money as something chaotic and start treating it as something measurable and manageable. Every financial problem becomes solvable when it is clearly mapped. That means knowing exactly how much comes in, how much goes out, and what purpose each expense serves. Without this foundation, no strategy will work because you are essentially trying to build stability on confusion. 2. Financial reality check and total expense mapping. The first 2 months are about brutal honesty with your financial situation. You cannot fix what you do not fully see. Begin by tracking every single expense, no matter how small. This includes food, transport, subscriptions, entertainment, and even impulse purchases like snacks or online shopping. Categorize them into 3 groups: essential needs, lifestyle wants, and unnecessary spending. When people do this seriously for the first time, they are often shocked to discover that 20 to 40% of their income is going toward non-essential items. This awareness alone is powerful enough to create change. Alongside tracking expenses, calculate your fixed monthly obligations such as rent, utilities, loan payments, and groceries. This gives you a baseline survival number, the minimum amount needed to live. Once you know this number, you immediately reduce financial anxiety because uncertainty is replaced with structure. The goal of this phase is not perfection but visibility. You are building a financial mirror that shows exactly where you stand without assumptions. 3. Cutting waste and reshaping spending habits. Once you have clarity, the next step is action. Between months 2 and 4, you must aggressively eliminate financial waste. This does not mean living in deprivation, it means removing spending that does not improve your quality of life in a meaningful way. Cancel subscriptions you rarely use, reduce frequent dining out, avoid impulse purchases, and compare cheaper alternatives for services. Even small daily expenses, when multiplied over a year, become significant financial drains. For example, spending a small amount daily on unnecessary items can equal a large portion of monthly income by year-end. The key psychological shift here is understanding opportunity cost. Every unnecessary purchase is not just spending money, it is stealing from your future stability. During this stage, aim to free at least 15 to 30% of your income. This freed up money becomes the fuel for savings, debt repayment, and investment. You are not just cutting expenses, you are redirecting money toward freedom. 4. Creating an emergency fund for financial security. One of the biggest causes of financial stress is unpredictability. Unexpected events like medical emergencies, job loss, or urgent repairs can instantly destabilize someone without savings. That is why building an emergency fund is essential between months 3 and 6. Start small if necessary. Your first goal can be just 1 month of living expenses. Gradually build it toward 3 to 6 months of essential costs. This fund must be kept separate from daily spending accounts to avoid temptation. The psychological effect of an emergency fund is extremely powerful. It reduces fear, panic, and impulsive financial decisions because you now have a buffer against uncertainty. People with savings make better financial choices because they are not reacting out of desperation. This phase transforms your mindset from "I am one problem away from crisis" to "I can handle unexpected challenges." That shift alone significantly reduces financial stress levels. 5. Debt elimination strategy and breaking interest cycles. Debt is one of the strongest sources of financial pressure because it creates constant mental burden. Even when you are not actively thinking about it, debt exists in the background, draining both money and peace of mind. To escape financial stress, you must actively reduce and eventually eliminate high-interest debt. Start by listing all debts and prioritizing them based on interest rates. High-interest debts, especially credit cards, should be targeted first because they grow fastest. This is known as the debt avalanche approach. Alternatively, the snowball method can be used, where smaller debts are cleared first to build motivation and momentum. The method matters less than consistency. What matters is stopping the cycle of minimum payments that keep you trapped for years. During this phase, avoid accumulating new debt unless absolutely necessary. Every debt you clear reduces monthly pressure and increases available cash flow. Over time, you begin to feel lighter mentally because a major source of financial anxiety is disappearing. 6. Increasing income through multiple streams. Cutting expenses alone is not enough to achieve financial freedom. You must also increase income. Relying on a single income source is risky in today's world because job security is never guaranteed. Between months 5 and 10, focus on building at least one additional income stream. This could be freelancing, part-time services, online work, tutoring, small business ideas, or skill-based services. The key is not to aim for perfection, but for consistency. Even small additional income, 10 to 25% extra, can dramatically change your financial situation when combined with expense control. This stage requires mindset change. You are no longer just an employee earning fixed income. You are a value creator with multiple earning abilities. The more skills you develop, the more income paths open. Over time, this additional income can even surpass your primary income, giving you real financial flexibility and reducing dependence on a single source. 7. Building wealth through smart investing. Once your financial foundation is stable, emergency fund is built, and debt is under control, the next step is wealth creation. This is where long-term financial stress truly begins to disappear. Investing is not about getting rich quickly. It is about making your money work for you over time. Start with simple, diversified investment options depending on your region, such as index funds, mutual funds, or retirement plans. The key principle is consistency rather than timing the market. Even small monthly investments can grow significantly over time due to compounding. The psychological shift here is important. You move from survival thinking to growth thinking. Instead of focusing on monthly survival, you begin thinking about long-term security, passive income, and financial independence. This stage builds confidence because you are no longer just protecting money, you are growing it. All right, my future millionaires. That's a wrap for today. If you got some value from this, don't just sit on it. Hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more money-making secrets. Turn on those notifications because wealth waits for no one. Stay smart. Stay hungry. And I'll see you in the next one. Let's get rich.